Hello, welcome back to Karagor Studios Remnant Lunar Archon Session 54. Hope you're doing well. We're gonna have us a good time. All else equal.
Yeah. Now we're starting.
Yeah, I did the do, so now we're starting. Let's see, last time Maury skipped. And then I think it was it Sam who did
I'm pretty
the
sure
recap?
I gave the recap.
Yeah, I think it was
last
Sam.
time,
Yep.
Let's see which of you first. Hey, Gambit. You want to give the recap, Jocelyn? Oh, Jocelyn, Jack, and Maury all in mute. Well, hopefully that's nothing. Bum, bada, bum.
Sorry, I fumbled my mic.
It's okay. Just as long
All
as...
right,
no,
Okay, so where did we leave off? It was only... Oh, it was it was shopping trip episode.
I believe
Shopping episode.
We left off in the library.
Yeah, we all met up in the library. Yeah. So we woke up, we said goodbye to Maverick, or Maverick said goodbye to us. We had one last breakfast together, which was really nice. Then we split up into team Thickbit and the rest of them.
Thickbit and everyone else.
And so team Thickbit went to a jewelry shop, a flower shop, and then the library. And then the other team went to a
Arms dealer.
blacksmith, an arms dealer
dealer
and a
is
blacksmith,
technically
right?
correct. Yes, blacksmith. He is the arms dealer. What an interesting way to put that. I've never heard anyone describe a D&D just blacksmith as the arms dealer in town.
Yeah.
That's correct, though.
So, yeah, and I think they got a big bow for Doug, right?
A very big bow.
Yes.
Very large
And Gibbet got a magic smear scimitar.
Yes, Gambit got, I think, from Thicket.
So
magic scimitars that Gambit can actually deal magic damage up close and personal.
it's pretty great. And then we're all at the library and we're figuring out stuff. We're doing it. It went from shopping episode to information episode.
When did you get the parrying dagger of warning? How long have you had that?
I've had that for a long time.
Oh, so I guess you did
We've
already
just
have
kind of...
a weapon that you could use to deal magic damage. Just haven't.
I thought it wasn't doing I thought it wasn't magic damage though. I thought the only thing magic about it was it would warn you. It was kind of like the sting.
It does deal magic damage as well.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Rip.
It's
I'm
done
so
that this whole
sad.
time. It's okay. Well, now you have two, so now you can dual wield scimitar parry.
Yay!
There you go.
The parrying
There you
dagger
go.
can
Nice.
also be used to parry, so you could reaction increase your AC by 2. Or, you could reaction reduce damage by half. That's up to you.
Right, like if the 2's not going to help.
Yeah.
That's true.
Plus it also magically awakens you whenever combat begins, and you can't be surprised. Which I'm gonna have to remember that. That could deal magic damage. It just hasn't come into play as much, I guess. Cool beans. Continue.
I think that's it.
Y'all got to
I
the
think that's a
library. There was
rough...
something y'all did that took up a bit of time at the library.
Oh.
They're
They're trying to get magic scrolls to turn things into magic, right?
Yes,
It's more like we hired someone to make it.
Y'all did talk about getting scrolls of effectively magic weapon or similar spells for temporary magic weapons, but then you were also like, we could also just commission a magic weapon. And so y'all commissioned a magically enhanced great bow, the big bow, effectively paying more so for the service since you provided most of the materials. So you paid, I think, a few hundred gold. I don't remember what it was. For a fairly expensive item, since you provided a great bow, a set of powdered ice dust, and a bead of elemental summoning, water specifically, for them to kind of use as magical ingredients to enchant this bow. So he currently is working on that. He said he would have it done for you, I believe he said sometime Friday.
Yep.
So now it would be about 2 p.m. as we come in. It is 2 p.m. Monday the 22nd of May, the year 417 post-schism. Yes, I already said 2 p.m. It is in the afternoon. You have finished that up, and the oh, I'm forgetting his name. What did I say his name? That's
not Fabian. That's the one that, or Fabian. That was the guy that made the bow in the first place.
It was Catrion.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the monkey faunus that has taken on the enchanting with I believe it was Oscar. Yes, Oscar. Another one of the apprentices of Sasha, of whom she now has I believe 13, or is it? I think it's 14 now that Maverick has joined them. He has 14 apprentices.
That's a solid class size. You don't want too many, because then people won't get that one-on-one time.
It's true, and when you're doing big magic, one-on-one time is quite important for long-term growth. It's the difference between finishing school as a first or third level wizard and finishing school as a 9th level wizard. But yeah, what would y'all like to do?
If we wrapped all that up, Garon's going to suggest maybe we go speak to some of the travelers, some of the guards, see what kind of rumors and information they might have about the bandits or whatever, whoever's waylaying folk into the woods. And I'd like to prepare to go out and start to handle that tomorrow morning.
Doug, didn't you say that you wanted to look into vampires while we're here at the library?
Yes.
I also wanted to wait for Maverick for a sec.
Okay, is anything else being researched at the library, or just vampires?
I think it was just vampires / necromancy. And if the two are related.
Thicket will also throw in there Bale specifically.
Gambit's gonna find a book about rocks and minerals.
Okay. Looking for anything in particular?
No, he's just passing the time while other people are researching stuff.
Okie doke.
Thicket wants to know about Bale's family. He told us who his father is, right?
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
he gave you his father's name. Looking that up now so I can write that down.
Yeah. And then his mom was kind of like a nobody kind of / like indentured slave servant.
Correct. Theron Androvich. the name that you're looking for. It's RWBY. Check that I spelled that right. Oh. Okie doke. Any other library events? And what do y'all say? Since that'd be the first thing, Durand asked his question about the bandits.
Oh, sure, I'll go with you to get information.
I mean, if you're reading something, you don't have to come.
No,
I could do it myself, I suppose.
no, I was just passing the time. I live and breathe information.
I mean, I assumed that everyone would be interested in it, but I mean, the opportunity to be at a library is also very rare, so I understand. But yes, I was surprised for a moment that it seemed that you were more interested in reading, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, I was just kind of curious, but this does sound like a promising lead, so let's go. Well, let the others get their research done, and so our party can multitask.
Okay, so you're splitting up with Gambit and Garand. Is anyone else going with them? Okay, with Doug, John, and Thicket all hanging out at the library. Yeah, since it would take a few minutes to research. Where are y'all going, Garand and Gambit?
Okay, so it makes the most sense to head towards like the eastern entrance of town or whatever, because that would be the side where the forest is, and effectively like any kind of like guard tower or whoever would be like checking people coming in from there. Like I want to try to start getting like ideas and rumors and information. So kind of like start there maybe, and then maybe they know where to go from there, of who to talk to, or what kind of like tavern people would go to from the eastern entrance or what have you. So it's kind of just, I don't know, I guess like hitting the beat, right? Like we're like detectives and we're gonna go try to get information about these criminals.
You're rumor hunting.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, which one of you would like to lead the rumor hunting?
I think it turns out that Gambit might be better than me on my.
Yeah.
You have like +9
Gambit,
on persuasion, right?
yes, but Gambit is also not going to talk to the guards, so
Okay.
I think we should split up.
Okay.
I think Gambit would go for like the rougher go to a bar and kind of like find petty thieves and criminals and be like, yo, who's the bandits?
Who do be
Point
the
blank
bandits?
ask, I love it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess we should have some kind of plan. How about we'll let them know that we'll be back shortly before dinner, and then we can all eat dinner together. That way they have like 3 hours or so to look up stuff, and we have about 3 hours to try to find some information, and then we can all have dinner, and then John and I can perform again.
Yeah,
hopefully
that sounds like a plan.
Okay, so we would have told them that then beforehand, because Gambit would have made it clear that he wasn't going to talk to the guards because Garon would forget that sort of thing because he just doesn't think about it because like Gambit's not a criminal in his mind. Gambit's a good guy, so he wouldn't even think about it. But
Gambit
like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Okie doke. So y'all are splitting up. Worth noting, it is still words. Raining. That's the wording. It is still raining. So whether or not you're going to be more in or outside could potentially cause difficulties. Gambit, I would like... Actually, both of you, I need investigation checks.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, rip.
man. Those 2 I rolled earlier are so good.
Those were earlier.
Yeah. There you go.
You might want to roll for me. I forgot about Fantasy Grounds. I'm signing in right now, but it might take a second.
For the record, your investigation is +0.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you got a 10. So you would spend, since y'all are planning about 3 hours worth. Unfortunately, Gambit doesn't really locate any underground criminal groups or any of that sort of, that type of group of people. He does not manage to find in the town. Despite his efforts, you talk to a couple of more rough-looking people, but they don't give you anything. They don't, they don't claim any criminal connections. They'll push off from you. They don't recognize you, and you don't seem to get anywhere with them.
They're basically like, "Why, you a cop?"
Yeah, what are you, a cop? Meanwhile, talking to the cops, Durand finds out very basic information. That it's not as common, and thus far the bandits have never attacked the city directly. And the city does not have the resources at the moment, or at least that's how he tells you, that the town does not have the resources to send out a group to hunt them down and flush out their nest wherever they are. They believe they're in the woods to the east. They're not sure where. Could be anywhere within, the nearby 10 miles east that it could be. You don't know for sure. It's a pretty big area, in general. And at this point in time, people don't mind walking that much to make trips for stuff. So they could be 5 miles away. They could be 10 miles away. Somewhere to the east, presumably in the forest. They're known to particularly go after trade. Not necessarily the most expensive stuff, though they will go after expensive things. It's suspected that there are different bandits that sneak into town to, sell wares, buy stuff, and return back. They don't know who they are. That's what they guess, though. They mostly go after, like I said, resources, food, clothes, trade vehicles. Coming in, out, or passing through. Seems to be the type they go after. For whatever reason, they've decided that they don't want to live in the town with people, and so they're out there. They have had a couple of people come back, because they don't kill people consistently. Occasionally it's happened when people resist that they seem not to have that many qualms with killing people that they are raiding. But it's not a common practice. If people just give them the stuff, they take it and they leave. But they have called themselves the Metal Mains on a few different occasions that people have reported.
They call themselves the what?
The Metal Mains. METALMANES.
Interesting.
Like to have like a lion's mane of metal.
Isn't Maine for a lion spelled M-A-N-E, so they can't spell either?
No, he put it in the chat. Look.
I thought I spelled it right.
Yeah, you did.
METALMANES.
I misheard you.
Did I spell it M-A-I-N a second ago?
No. I think you said M-A-I-N. I don't know.
I may have said M-A-I-N, but
I see it in the chat.
I typed it correctly at least, so good for me.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't verbally spell it correctly. Yeah, that's about all you get with that roll. You've asked around, but the guards, some of them are looking at you a little suspiciously, but not enough to be like, oh, you're a bandit, but why are you asking? They give you basic information. You don't know if they have more or if they're just not telling you anymore, but you don't get any more from it.
Okay, well, I'll let them know that if you enjoy good music, you're welcome to come and hear me perform. I plan to do so every evening. I have a special engagement on Friday, and provided you are participating, I hope it will be an enjoyable time for you. If you do come across any further information, so that my friends and I might be able to resolve this situation in the the best way possible, please do not hesitate. I'm Grand, and we're staying at the end, blah blah, and all that other good stuff. And so I'll thank him for his time, and let him know that even if the town doesn't have the resources, maybe my friends and I do. So good day, sir.
Right. He appreciates it as you head back over toward the inn to meet the others. So for the 3 hours, I need Doug to first roll an investigation check to find Marcy. As you wanted to speak to the girl that was a necromancer, right? And have her help?
Yeah.
Wow, your dice are neon green, aren't they?
Yeah.
With neon green lettering.
I don't know what I rolled until it tells me.
Neither do me or anyone else. But you end up getting a 19, total of 20. So pretty quickly, you'd actually be able to locate. Oscar would mention down a specific hall where you'd be able to go and meet Marcy, the halfling girl that you'd met before, that mentioned that she practices and is studying necromancy. As she comes back in, as apparently she was also the one who was showing Maverick to his dorm. Yeah, I'd be happy to come help you look around. What would you like to know?
You mentioned necromancy before. Could you kind of give me like the facets of what all that entails? Like vampires, are they considered part of necromancy, or like werewolves, or undead?
Okay. Couple of different questions there. The first, general necromancy. Necromancy is particularly the study of life, death, and the passage between the two. Some necromancers actually do put in effort to learn how to heal people. It's not as easy, not being a cleric, as they're far more efficient at such things. But some still try to do it. I find the transition between life and death to be particularly interesting. So there are a couple of different things you mentioned, being vampires, werewolves, and undead in general. So werewolves are a big no. That's not necromancy. It's a curse, which technically would have more to do with enchantment or transmutation. Some would argue necromancy, but it's kind of a hot potato between the different schools on who gets to quote-unquote curse people. If you want more about werewolves, I can tell you a little more, but it's not really necromancy. Undead in general can come from necromancy. I stick to animals because it tends to be frowned upon to raise any sort of sentient humanoid as an undead. So for my practice and things, I prefer animals. Most people prefer that I do it on animals anyway. Typically, the method of creating an undead involves animating a body without a soul. Occasionally, you can summon ghosts, pulling at the remains of life force that have passed on to try and pull back the soul temporarily. It only works so well. Some souls are incredibly uncooperative, some are more so. But mostly it's a lot of animation of the dead. So for example, zombies, you are more puppeting the remains or instilling magic to replicate life within them, but you're not actually giving them any proper life. That's partially why they don't have a lot of staying power in general. However, the one that you mentioned is technically a combination of both curses and undead, being vampires. Vampires are largely, they are, as far as genetics or anything would matter, they are undead. They are not considered living. Their souls are tied up in a weird way with where they've died and with an odd connection to the place that they are from. As well as their souls tend to be tied to whatever vampire created them. Most vampires, in order to be made, it's very rare for vampires to be made outside of being created by another one. Vampires technically can have children if they are with non-vampires. They can create what's known as a dhampir, or a half-vampire. However, they can't create full vampires that way, and they have to suck people's blood, turning them into thralls, and then from those thralls, if the vampire lord, that is a full vampire, wishes, they can let the thrall suck some of their blood, which will give the thrall more strength and allow them full autonomy, as most vampire thralls are fully within control of the vampire that spawns them, that drinks their blood. Just being having your blood drunk doesn't turn you into a vampire. There's a few more things than that. They have to specifically kill you with that method, and then you come back later on. But they technically are both undead and cursed at the same time. There are different theories that people have about where vampires come from the first time, that maybe they made a deal with some kind of monster, that maybe it was a wish gone bad, but we're not really sure.
Okay. Well, that answered my next question, was where's the first one from?
We don't know. There are some big ones in history. There are stories about a vampire from a mystical land that you could travel from. That is apparently in a different dimension. It's in some sort of pocket dimension. That would be Lord Zarevich. There's another one of Vlad Dracula Tepesh. That's another theory, but we don't have any clear indication that he ever actually existed. But that's one people will popularly point to as being the quote-unquote first vampire. I don't think it was. I don't think he existed personally. I mean, there are other notable vampires in general, but the ones that I'm thinking of wouldn't be considered the first of their kind.
What happens after a vampire dies?
Well, it depends on how well you kill them. If you improperly kill a vampire, which is destroying it with sunlight, there are very few methods outside of destroying it with sunlight or radiant damage that could be permanent at all. Most of the time, they can escape, and if they escape, they're able to return to their coffin or grave, where they can rest and come back after some time as their body repairs itself, as they have natural regenerative abilities. I assume, and most assume, that based on the nature of their deal, unless they've been blessed by a god, then they probably end up in the hells, is the general consensus.
What happens, like, when they're killed by sunlight?
They burn
Do
up.
they turn into ash?
Yeah, pretty much. Their body tends to be fully destroyed, turning into ash, or the mist that they can transform into being burned away. At that point, that's when it's believed that their soul would properly leave their body and go into the hells.
So, is there another way to kill them other than sunlight?
Sure. Specific magical damage can kill them. Specifically, radiance, the kind practiced by clerics a lot of time, is known to be able to bypass the same effect. I believe you can also... Well, there are a couple different ways to not necessarily kill them, but if you stab one in the heart with a stake, they are paralyzed indefinitely, becoming little more than a feature of the place they're in. I believe if you destroy their grave, they can eventually starve to death, unable to return to where they ought to be, and can pass away that way. And I guess, there's the Old Faithfuls, like the Disintegrate spell, which can just kill them anyway, though it's not radiant. I guess technically if you burned them faster than they could regenerate, they might stay that way. But it usually takes some kind of radiant or light to destroy them properly.
Does fire work?
If you use enough of it.
Is there a way, do vampires progress in their regenerative abilities over time, or is it the same no matter how long they've been a vampire?
It tends to be pretty consistent. There are stories of Dark Lord vampires who seem to have progressed into what some might call elder vampires. I prefer calling them Dark Lords. I think it sounds more dramatic. But there's a point where it's said that even killing them with sunlight doesn't actually stop them, that their bodies regenerate anyway, and they always come back. And it's possible that some of them have stronger regenerative abilities than others, but most are kind of consistent of around the same rate. It's fairly fast, though. It can heal up sword wounds in a matter of seconds.
But the one thing I guess that they cannot heal from is wood, because you said if you stake one to the heart, then they're paralyzed. So is that just movement, or is that the regenerative process as well?
It's just the movement, I believe. They'll actually regenerate around the stake itself. It's, from what I understand, is not a terribly comfortable process. I don't know what exactly it is. Others might know, but it's not something I've figured out for why vampires are paralyzed by wood. Well, specifically a stake to the heart. Doing it to their hands won't do anything. To their heart, they're staying down. But no, it doesn't stop their regeneration, it just stops them from...
So would they eventually, I guess, would the heart eventually regenerate from the stake, or as long as the stake is there?
As long as the stake is in it, they're not moving. There are stories of ones being stuck in place for hundreds of years. There's even an old folk tale about this particular tree that called the Guthias tree. It was originally came from a stake being driven into the heart of a vampire, a very old one, and then the vampire being buried and left there for hundreds of years. And eventually the stake actually grew into a tree that ended up being cursed as it kind of moved throughout the vampire's body and was it absorbed the blood. It became a vampire tree. Supposedly, it stretched out so far that it is still around and you can't even really kill it because there's always more of it somewhere. But that's an unconfirmed theory, an old tale. Goes up in a few different books, but I don't have any record of anyone actually finding a part of the Guthias tree. There's a very happy song playing in the background while I'm describing all of this deep vampire lore. Let's change it to a suspense soundtrack, shall we? I hope yeah, sorry.
So basically, if we were to ever encounter any of these things, carrying wooden stakes would be the quickest option in terms of just getting past them.
Yeah. Of course, you still have to get it to slow down long enough for you to stab it, and they're very fast and dangerous, but it is a fairly efficient method of stopping them temporarily.
Does it have to be specifically wood, or can it be any plant material?
I think it has to be wood. I've heard that willow trees work the best. I don't know why, but they do apparently. Either that, or it's just that Micah likes willow trees, and that's the one that came to his head. Who knows?
Who is Micah?
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, apparently willow trees work best, but as long as you've got a substantial enough piece of wood, good work. But other materials, I have not heard any report of working, but I don't know that anyone's ever had the opportunity to properly test it.
So you don't know, like, if vines would work?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't know if they'd be sturdy enough, honestly. Plus, at what point is it between a vine and wood? I mean, plants eventually, like leaves eventually can grow into sticks or limbs from there. What point does it become wood? When it dies, it lives, when it gets strong enough.
Do you know anything about the vampire Theron Edrovich?
Theron Edrovich. I can't say that I do. I feel like I've heard the name before, but it doesn't ring any bells.
Do you know where we might be able to look to see if there are books that have him?
Yeah, general history books, parts of necromancy, depending on how important of a guy he was. You said he was a vampire?
Yes.
Then probably some of the books we have in the library should potentially lead to him. There are various ones. We have ones about Corvus. We have, different stories about the other ones. Vlad, Strahd. I believe it was Miss Bethany as well. There's a couple of stories about her up to the north. If you look around, you might be able to find him, but it's not something I necessarily know about. Sorry.
That's all right.
She got a 3. If she'd gotten a 20, she was writing her thesis paper for the year on him, but she didn't.
It's so funny, you should ask.
Funny, you should ask. I happen to have all the information. But she does not know.
I'm actually so glad you said that.
I'm so glad you mentioned it. I mean, you've given her a chance to talk about her major effectively, so she's been enjoying the opportunity.
What's your major?
Basically that. Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. We love a girl in magic STEM.
It's true, specifically a halfling in necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the second time we've had a NPC just kind of geek out a bit.
You went to the library. What are you expecting?
True.
So y'all gonna look around with the probably hour and a half y'all have left to try and find Androvich?
Yeah,
that's
going to try to use the Dewey Decimal System that he was acquainted to earlier.
Okie doke. Go ahead and both of you make investigation checks.
Yeah, I guess I'll take a look too.
Yeah, John's hanging out as
Can
well.
I get advantage because she told me where to look?
Investigation.
No.
I have a +0 investigation.
Please.
Let's roll well. That's
Pretty
not well.
please.
You can have a +2.
Yay!
Take what you can get and be happy about it.
Surprisingly, Doug is doing well on learning these new skills on investigation.
It's not 3!
That's true. Thickets wasn't 3. Thicket and John are having no success. There are so many books. It's like you were expecting a section on necromancy and not 2 entire bookshelves that are like 15 feet, actually longer than 15, like 30 feet wide, like on each side. Y'all were not expecting that much.
Didn't realize people were so obsessed with dead people.
I feel like Doug just got like super lucky, and it's just like randomly picks a book and is like, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah, you were like, let's see, like things about names and people. You start looking in one of the different sections, like, oh, there's one of like important vampires. Effectively, I don't know what the book would be called. Of like general vampire lore. Yeah. So with that, you would find a book that you've got a very good feeling about. You don't quite have enough time before 5 o'clock to get the full information you need, but you found what you feel like this is the book.
Hey guys, this book feels correct.
Feels? Did you read it?
Oh.
That's fair. I guess the way I described it is kind of silly.
Does it have pictures?
Let me say this a different way.
In Braille?
You would find in the contents the name Androvich. You will have to take time to read through that section and the other stuff in the book to really get the information, but you found it around 5 o'clock.
Well, is there a way for Doug to utilize the library to quickly like scan images of like
The book?
the book reading?
No.
Oh.
There is, however, this crazy method known as borrowing. That might work. You could maybe borrow the book.
There's an idea.
What technology is that?
Asking nicely.
I mean, Doug honestly would have no idea as to how to even
Pick a book out of a library.
Yep.
I think have maybe some sense to find someone and ask, can we take this with us?
Hey, Doug, we could probably take this with us and bring it back later.
Oh.
It's work.
But all the books are here.
Well, we don't
people
have to stay here to read it.
I thought people brought books in and didn't take them out.
And the books never got.
Like,
Dun, dun, dun.
thought the library was just a warehouse of people writing books and then dropping them off.
They let you rent them. It's amazing. Technology has come so far. We have cards in them that keep track of when you're supposed to return them, too.
That doesn't make sense. Why would you return a book you want to read?
Well, you're not going to keep reading it over and over, are you? You're just going to read it once? In all likelihood?
But what if it's a good book?
I like rereading the books that I have.
If it's so good you don't want to give it back, you buy it.
Makes sense.
So let's go check it out.
And Doug immediately starts walking to the door.
You would see that having taken Oscar's place when Oscar left with I'm forgetting his name. Petrian? Yes, Petrian. Oscar went with Katrin, wanting to help out and learn about the enchantment process. And it seems that Marcy has taken over the front of the library at the moment as she looks over. Find what you need?
I believe so. Doug has a book we want to check out.
Okay, well, it's in the general section, so you should be able to. As she looks over the book, looks outside where it's raining, frowns slightly before pulling out this cloth, effectively bag that seems to have a couple of layers to it that she gently wraps the book, like sets the book in and wraps the top. Don't open it outside. We don't want to damage it. If you do damage it, you'll be required to pay for it. And who would like to sign the book out?
I think I can be responsible for that.
Okie doke. And what's your name?
What is my name? John Halston.
John Halston. All right. She quickly jots that down on this card with a couple of other pieces of information. She moves a checkout clipboard effectively toward you. That seems she's already written the name of the book, as well as cut like when it's due and everything onto it. Could you sign here?
Sure.
You sign out the book, and she hands you a card with it as well of this paper that seems to be written on, effectively that this book with the name is property of the Great Library of Fame. Checked out under the permission of Sasha Hellion for the duration of 1 week, so until the 29th. You have to return it before then. And if you don't, we'll come after you. She says with a smile.
I'm after. Or is that just turn a phrase?
Yes.
Gotcha.
We're rather serious about our books. But I trust y'all will return it before the by the due date. As you head back toward the tavern, the inn, you're able to meet up with the others.
One more thing.
I think it has one more thing.
He was waiting for Maverick like the whole time.
I'm sorry. Maverick would have come out at one point if you had been waiting on him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi. I had forgotten to drop this off with you when you left this morning. And Thicket will hand over the what is it called? Guard marionette.
No.
And then also, we went shopping today, and I got some more flowers, and I decided to get 2 this time so that I could give 1 to you. And he also hands over one of the purple irises that he just got.
Maverick gives a toothy smile. You Thicket. I don't know how long the flower will last, but I'll definitely keep the marionette. How long do flowers typically last? Like a month? A day? I don't know.
Well, I have a bunch of them in my book, and I mean they don't look the same as they used to, but they still look pretty cool.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I should put them in one of these books, but I could probably find a book to put it in. Thank you, Thicket.
You're welcome. I hope you learned lots of really cool magic.
Me too. I'll try and send some stuff y'all's way once I, get it figured out. Gonna do great. Let me know how things are going every now and again.
All right.
It's a plan. Okay.
Now we can head back to the
And
tavern.
with that, you finish heading back to the tavern, getting there around 5:30, we'll say, when all of you congregate, drying off. The rain does seem to be lifting, not as heavy as it was, but it was is still finishing up raining. At this point in time, Geralt will be at the bar, and you do not see Miss Lavania. There are a couple of people. It appears dinner is effectively starting. A few people have arrived, but she is not around.
It's kind of glad.
Gambit breathes a sigh of relief.
All right, Grant, give him, and John, give him your all. Break a leg.
I'll do my best not to.
Chris and Jack are muted. Oh no. Chris, Jack.
I'm here, but I was thinking the performers would
That's fair.
go.
I just noticed that you
It's
were
been
muted
longer
as
than
well.
2 seconds.
But I mean, if there is a dartboard or something available, of course Doug would be bringing him.
There is
Should
not one
I-
in this place. It's a little too fancy for that.
Or is there any sort of like game around?
Should
You could-
I delete the guard marionette, or do you want to
Delete
transfer that to Maverick's sheet?
Yeah, I'll transfer it to Mavericks. Why not?
All right.
There's the man.
Well, if she's not there to whatever, that's fine. But while we were walking back, Garan would have told Gambit that he got a name. The Metal Mains. I guess there's like a lion theme, or perhaps they feel themselves noble or something. Perchance later this evening, maybe you might find a way to inquire about that, unless you heard any information on your own.
I found nothing. Everyone here is super suspicious.
You know, it's funny you say that. The guards were a little suspicious of me as well. I'm not sure why that would be, but I mean, maybe they just haven't seen the show. You know,
Maybe they're not used to, adventuring.
perchance we are much further north.
I doubt many people are used to
Mhm.
adventurers adventuring.
Adventurously.
I mean, as many times as apparently these people are overthrown or attempts are made to overthrow them, you would think they would be.
Well, those
Right.
are conquerors, not adventurers.
Yeah,
suppose.
I guess they become suspicious of people who have power, or who might have any sort of. Not saying that we're like powerful, but like, well, I guess we have already done 1Q before, so.
Most people that live in one place their whole life are usually suspicious of outsiders.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are lots of reasons.
Well, anyway, I got the name. Apparently, they are the Metal Mains. You know, we could. I'd like to start tomorrow morning, but
Okay.
I honestly think that Thicket might be our best bet. His ability to track and to kind of know the lay of the land is honestly unparalleled. So,
Well, I was kind of thinking that we could like lay a trap, like, like have one of us kind of like pretend to be just like a passerby, and then when they spring on us, we spring on them.
possible.
Is it time for the what is it? The bag of holding, or the portable hole?
Here,
I
I was
well,
thinking
take my
about that.
money.
Like, we could put it. I was thinking about that. We could like do like a wagon and put like a blanket over the wagon, so we don't have to worry about suffocating. And then it doesn't look like there's many people. And then Wabam! We all pop out of the magic hole,
I suppose that could work.
the portable hole.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that apparently they only look for trade goods. Apparently they steal what they can in order to make a profit. I got the vague sense that they might be trying to make their own little village, town, something, using resources from travelers and this town, almost like selling the stolen goods back to the town. So
Doesn't sound like a sustainable business model.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They have not had issue with taking the lives of those who would stand up for their goods and their items. So they are willing to kill them. It seems at least that that's not their intent, but they have no other qualms about it. So, not looking the most positive for these bandits, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's an option. I mean, we could. I don't know that the trap would work as well as we hope, but I don't see a reason not to try that.
So do you think it might be best for us to just go in very gaudy?
Well, honestly, maybe they would think Gambit is the most nondescript of us. And even though Thicket might look like a juicier target, I think anyone seeing a cat out and about by itself would well know who that cat probably is. Thicket is very unique, so my suggestion would then be Gambit, or perchance John. John could be the driver, and we could be the surprise, because he's also not as well known as we are, having done what we've done so far. So there's that possibility as well.
Not a horrible idea. I'm down.
Yep, that sounds pretty good. We just need to borrow a cart.
Yeah, we went to rent a wagon and a horse, a donkey, mule, what have you, and he's traveling through. Let's look at the map a sec, and maybe we'll have an idea of the right way to spin this as a possibility. If I remember correctly, we could do. Oh, we're trying to make a shortcut, right? We want to make a shortcut to, was it Calcite? So we're crossing the forest, right? That would be the effectively the con.
Yeah.
Wait, is that where the bandits are?
No, they're in the forest, but we're crossing through the forest as a shortcut. We don't want to waste time. We're trying to sell our goods, or trying to sell his goods. So he's trying to, do a quick turnaround on funds, right? And so that's, I mean, he could even let things slip very loudly as he's, oh, I need to get a cart. I've got all these goods I need to get rid of, and maybe he's exceptionally loud, and maybe any sort of scouts or something. Maybe they have folks in town who look for this sort of thing and who kind of keep an eye or ear out, and perchance, maybe everyone thought that he was going to hire us or something, and he didn't, right? Because nobody really knows exactly what his deal with us is yet. So he's kind of that wild card, and so. Oh yeah, I've got these goods. I've really got to get them going. I tried to hire that group, but they really wanted to do things around town. So, well, I've got to go. So hopefully I make it. And
I mean,
that's kind of the whole bit, right? And he's doing that on the way out of town, and he's and then he's singing to himself as he's going. Just seems very oh no, I don't know anything, blah blah. And perchance it will work. I think it's a possibility.
I mean, don't all bards sing song? Is that not just something you all do?
Right. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Just casually when there's nothing else to do?
Right. So it totally works. I'm just saying, he needs to seem like he's hoping for the best. He doesn't expect the worst. He doesn't even know perchance about these bandits. Oh no, bandits! What? No! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! That sort of thing.
I mean, couldn't the cue of there's trouble to stop playing your instrument?
I mean, with the idea of the portable hole is open in the wagon and there's merely like a blanket over top, I don't think it's going to matter. I think we can hear it just fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to give much of a signal. And I don't know that I could play an instrument necessarily and drive a cart, but, unless y'all want to get me like a pan flute, or we could find a pan flute somewhere. But I could definitely sing a song or something. Whistle a tune.
Should I prepare the air bubble spell for the portable hole plan?
No, the hole would be open in the cart. You understand?
Should we test to see if that will work first?
Oh, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't, but yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
Doug
It's
immediately.
just every time we suggest this portable hole plan, there's always the caveat that I don't have air bubble prepared.
Yeah,
So
but that's because
I
we're
need to
usually
know if I
trying to
should
close
prepare air
it.
bubble.
Doug immediately swan dives as Thicket pulls it out.
Hopefully, we're not doing this
Oh,
in
be
the middle of
careful!
the
There's a
room
lot of
during dinner.
dangerous stuff in there. There's bombs in there. Doug, there's bombs.
There literally is an entire keg of gunpowder in the portable hole.
It's true.
Reaction to stop Doug. More so than because let's not try this out in the middle of dinner. I would hope Thicket wouldn't be pulling it out right now.
True.
Thicket's just got it beside him. Like a woman puts her purse beside her when she eats at a restaurant.
Well, to be fair,
Thicket's got his purse.
But it can't be open. Like, you have to
His
spread it out to
portable
open
hole.
it properly. But yes.
So it's just like a blanket.
Currently, yes. If you were to spread it out, it would be bigger than a blanket.
I believe Thicket's previously described using it like a rucksack.
Oh yeah. Tied it up on his on like a stick.
Yeah. We can go test it out in our rooms later, or now.
I mean, there might be time before the show starts, so.
Depends. The show starts whenever you choose to start it.
Okay, well, yeah. Normally, we've been starting at like 7:30 or 8 or something in the game, right? And going for like 2 hours or so, 3 hours at most.
I think so.
So yeah,
I think once you started a little earlier, but
yeah. So we have. I mean, dinner's not going to take that long, so yeah, we could do it now. Go to the room and like test it like on a bed, something that would be about the size of a wagon-ish.
Time to pull open the portable hole. Let's see. Portable hole, what are the details? It is a 6-foot diameter circular sheet when unfolded. So it could probably fit within the base of a wagon. That's what you're trying to figure out.
And so we make it like there's like maybe a couple barrels or something, like at the back near the and the maybe the blanket to cover everything doesn't cover all of the barrels at the very back, but it covers, surprisingly, the rest of the cart, which, oh my gosh, a portable hole with heroes. Oh no. I love this idea. This is super brilliant.
Portable hole of heroes. Okay. So talk me through your plan and when this plan is going to take place.
So I guess it would be like in the evening. Maybe he's like, well, it's been fun playing with you, but if you're not going to, if you aren't going to escort me to Calcite, I need to get to Calcite with this and get this shipment out. And he's going to make it a big scene or whatever. And he's like, I appreciate the kindness and generosity you've shown me so far. You are truly good adventurers. And then in the morning, he's like, oh, I've got to get this cart. Oh, I've got to get this stuff going. I need it. My goods and blah, blah, blah. And he's making like this big showy thing. And it's very loud. And he goes and gets the cart and he goes and gets the donkey, horse, whatever. And when he's packing everything up, he'll come back to the inn. We'll all get in the portable hole where he folds it, put it in his thing, and then he goes out and sets us in the portable hole, like in the cart. And then so we're just fine from there on. And then he's just gonna drive it. We're just gonna be hanging out and chit-chatting. Maybe we'll reminisce about, oh, wasn't it fun when we did this memory and blah blah blah. And then hopefully he will get waylaid, and then we can stop them and save the day.
Who is he in this case?
John.
I assume I'm doing all the acting, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes the most sense now because even though Gambit is more nondescript than John is not known as being with us just yet.
Yeah, I'm the expendable one.
The new kid on the block.
Okay.
This is still part of. This is just consider this to be a part of your hiring.
Yeah, no, I'll gladly agree to all this. I'm just saying, I'm totally
So,
expendable.
where are you going?
You're not expendable. We're gonna save you. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm perfectly capable of defending myself too. You guys just don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Where
This is a test.
are you planning to get the cart?
I mean, there's got to be a store in town somewhere that would let him, rent a cart.
Can we borrow the merchant's cart that we came in with?
They may not want to invest that, but you could ask. But I think you'd have to find the right one that you think is trustworthy and would be like inclined to do something like that. But I think the better bet is for you to rent your own like thing. Like you already had the goods, but like, yeah, basically it's you're gonna look like an easy score, and so hopefully you won't look like so much of an easy score that it clearly looks like a trap, but yet
Are
easy
you
enough
talking
that
like a covered wagon or just a cart?
a cart, something we can fit the thing in. That's really the main thing. And
Okay.
it only needs to look like there's like items under there.
Okay. And what would you like to draw to carry this cart? To pull this
A horse,
cart?
a mule, something.
Hey, a mule is fine. It doesn't have to be fast.
Well, no. The idea is that you're trying to go faster, so it'd be like a good mule, like
trying to go faster, but also not a rich dude.
No. You need to seem rich enough that you have what they want.
I guess.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What was the results of us trying to test the portable hole in like our rooms or something?
What was the goal?
No, what was like the
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what were y'all trying to figure out? What were y'all trying to do?
That it was gonna fit.
They were trying to figure out whether or not they could breathe in the portable hole if they kept the door cracked.
No, we're just leaving it
feel like
open.
you'd
Like
need a
we're just leaving
fan.
it straight open. It's an open pit, so yeah, there's no air issue, right?
So once it's folded up, the magical doorway into its mini pocket dimension functionally closes. Can't be half open. Though you can pull yourself out of it, so I guess maybe not. Yeah, that's fair. You have to make a strength check to like pull yourself out of it, so I'm gonna say it mostly closes enough to where air wouldn't easily pass through once it's closed at all. As for it being, you'll dare to figure out it might be big enough that y'all could just leave it open, but you'd have to like surround it on all sides with stuff to try and like hide it, because you're gonna have a 6-foot wide hole in the middle of the cart.
6 feet, huh?
Okay.
Well. Again, it's extra-dimensional space, right?
Correct.
So it's not like that stuff is gone. It's like opening like a portal into it. So like the bottom of the cart, like the part facing the sun, is the opened area, but the part facing the earth is still wood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really have to hide anything because carts have sides to keep things from falling out on the side when it's being carried. So the sides will be enough, and we have a blanket over top, so it looks like it's just trying to keep the stuff like covered in case
You're
of
making
rain,
a covered
whatever.
hole inside of a cart, effectively.
Right.
Okay.
And so we can still breathe because the hole's open, right? So we don't have to worry about that. And then, like I said, you have like at the very back, you have like some barrels or something, so it looks like there's actually stuff in the cart. And then we can have like other little things like set up to make it look like there's like bumpy things to make it look like, oh yeah, it's covering stuff or whatever, to try to sell it, but
okay.
I don't know, my vision for this is awesome. Whoever suggested this, I can't remember if it was Thicket or if it was Gambit, but I love this.
Doug has been wanting to get inside the portable hole for ages.
Yeah.
I know, but someone had his back tonight.
Doug has been like interested in this, like, him being not necessarily transported, but him like in a different place, feeling as if he's like very small for a long time.
Oh.
He's fascinated by the concept of he can just disappear.
I should take you on a
Nobody
Today-
psychoanalyzed that.
I think he's also partly curious, just because of his, I guess, shadowy nature of his like echo.
All right, so does everyone understand the plan, and does Micah understand the plan?
I believe I understand the plan. So the plan, just so I can say it back to you, is y'all are going to purchase a donkey, mule, pony, or horse, a cart,
Or I could be the animal.
or Thicket could be the animal,
That's probably a better idea.
That's true.
and
Boy, wouldn't that be a freak out? The horse turns around. Hey, gotcha.
yeah, that's one way to get him to do a double take for sure. So buy a cart.
Talking donkey.
Talking horse?
I was going with Shrek anyway. Sorry.
Oh, that, yeah, I'll be honest. I've never watched Shrek in its entirety.
Whoa!
It's the beginning of the movie.
You
Yeah,
act
he
like
never watched it.
I didn't remember any of it.
That's fine. It's fine. Anyway,
But anyway,
I've only seen it once. If it makes you feel better.
y'all are going to purchase a cart, presumably tonight or early in the morning. Pull it via Thicket. So you'll also need to get some kind of harness, but that would be pretty easy to get with the cart. And then setting up for that tonight, assuming, I don't know if John's still going to perform.
Yeah.
But then he's going to get mad at the rest of you.
Not mad, but like disappointed.
Disappointed in the rest of you for not continuing to protect him.
Yeah.
Dramatically trying to get everyone in to know, hoping that the word will get back to the bandits, and then the next day y'all are going to take the thicket cart, presumably put some empty boxes and stuff and a blanket over the cart to make it look full. Have inside in the middle of the cart, the 6-foot portable hole open with everybody just chilling inside. Just sitting in a 10-foot hole together. Or however deep it is. And y'all are just going to, for as long as Thicket can wild shape, presumably taking short rests here and there to refresh. I think he can do it for 4 hours per one, so he could wild shape for like 8 hours. Just head in the general direction of calcite, trying to cut through the swamp, and try to make sure that the bandits know so that they can waylay you on your path.
Yeah, I don't know about swamp. I thought it was a forest, but if it's a swamp,
there is forest leading up to the swamp, but where on the map the ground turns blue. And there are those big, the greener trees. That is where it transitions into swamp.
Okay.
Which people can still, you can still theoretically cut through the swamp.
I can wild shape for 3 hours, not 4.
3 hours?
It's half rounded down.
Right, and you're currently only 7, not 8 yet. But like the grasslands looking area, there are still forests. It's just lighter forest, whereas the swamp and in the top left are denser forest areas.
Okay.
Just in general for the map, you can see the hills. The lighter green areas near like Vane, Tough, Vacuo do have forests. Some areas are plains, some areas are forests, just not as dense as in the swamp or in the forest to the top left.
Okay.
So do I have that correct?
Yes.
Sounds good. And Thicket being the guide is even better because Thicket's got all the nature stuff and can track and everything. So that's actually really good. It can seem like a stubborn mule or whatever, or a stubborn warhorse or something, and it's like, go where I want to go, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, go this way, Philippe, or whatever.
Come, Felipe.
I was doing Beauty and the Beast. My bad.
I was going to say, I thought you were referencing.
I don't know why I'm missing all the references tonight, man.
It's fine. It's fine.
That one I should have gotten. I love that movie.
Where have you taken us, Philippe? All right, anyway, sorry.
And Philippe just looks at him like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bits.
I love Philippe. Back when Disney could give a ton of personality to a horse in 5 minutes. But to be fair, they did give a lot of personality to Maximus.
I was gonna say.
I was about to say, do not disrespect Maximus, my son, like that.
I don't know if I even consider Tangled to be like modern Disney. Wasn't that like 2008?
It was on the cusp of them changing to modern.
Yeah,
Disney.
I think it was somewhere around then because
that was their first.
Yeah, she was the
animated.
Yeah,
princess movie.
She was also the first. What is it? The adorable princess.
She was the first of the many adorable princesses. That's true.
That's fair.
It was 2010.
I think she was also the first to have her own TV show.
I forgot they made a TV show.
I don't think that's right.
No.
Little Mermaid, man.
Yeah, Little Mermaid got one.
Yeah.
When was that?
Technically Lilo, if you want to count her too.
Yeah,
facts. Probably. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so
you
got it.
Get mad at Philippe Thicket. Okay, so that is the plan. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so. Anybody?
Action.
Mm-mm.
Bueller.
All right, so we can sing. So let's sing our hearts out, and then you're going to perform.
Okay.
You got to perform again.
So John is going to perform with Garand.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
presumably making a dramatic scene
At the end.
at the end of the performance.
At
Right.
the end of the performance or after the performance?
After the performance.
After the performance.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, whatever wording's like. So yeah, like maybe he can be like he can make it big. So are you guys willing to take me to Calcite or whatever? And it'll be like, no, I'm sorry, it's been a pleasure performing with you, but no, we've got our own mission at hand. So and we were regretful or whatever, but like oh he takes it whatever. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to role play this this charade.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I want to buff him with some inspiration.
Are y'all gonna inspire each other again?
Yeah.
Okay, Garon
Yeah.
gets an extra D8, John gets an extra D6. Go ahead and roll your performance checks.
Alrighty. Extra
And
D8.
then
or extra
I'm
D6.
also going to hook up a hero point.
Performance.
Garon really doesn't want to disappoint this crowd, does he?
Bro, have you been seeing my rolls?
There, I got, what, 20?
Total 20. Okay, John is doing very well. And while they're doing this, what are the rest of you doing?
Beckett will ask everyone else
Uh.
if they think that a warhorse is too conspicuous for the plan.
Hey, as
32.
long as it's an old warhorse. Not that I have any input because I'm performing.
Could you be like
No, I think
a mule or
I can be a mule. A mule would probably be better, but a warhorse is fast.
but like we're not necessarily going for speed though, right?
Be a race mule.
Not necessarily, but it's convenient.
think a warhorse would be fine. But I don't think it would be enough to raise suspicion.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not like dressed in armor, from head to toe.
What
Yeah.
color? What color should I be?
Ooh. I think you should be a roan, a blue roan.
What is that?
Blue roans are like very gray horse. Have you ever seen a dog that has like two different types of color hair like mixed together?
Yeah, like me. I have
Yeah,
different color
kind of like you.
fur. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
part's
yeah.
like a light
But it's
gray,
like,
and that part's more of like a
well,
dark gray.
well, like more mixed up, like all over. Like
Like
one
an
hair's
abstract
black,
painting.
one hair's gray, kind of. But it's like all mixed up to the point where the black and the white hairs make a gray. Even though the horse doesn't have any gray hairs, the black and the white are all scattered together to make the horse look like it's gray. Kind of like
So,
that.
Salt and pepper.
Like dots.
Not dots.
a gradient.
More even. Yeah.
So like a zebra.
I think that's the
No.
opposite of the effect I was going for.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be a moorland horse? As stepping up, slightly catching Gambit off guard, is Lady Grace Lavania, who you're not sure when she entered, but seems to have found her way to your table. As she would reach to pull out a chair, assuming none of you stop her. Jocelyn just disconnected. Well, I guess Jocelyn is afraid of.
Can you still hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
you
I
just
can.
disconnected from Fantasy Grounds for a
Okay.
second. I think it'll come,
Yeah.
it'll probably return.
No. My computer died.
Ah,
That'll do it.
that'll do it. As she steps
Um,
up. A moorland horse? You know, the ones with the kind of hairy feet? Like they're wearing fancy pants?
That
Gambit
sounds
visibly
cool.
jumps.
That gets like a little caught off guard and is apprehensively responding like, that sounds cool.
I'm not too familiar with horses, but I've seen a couple of that type. I heard one was a Clydesdale, I think is what they said it was. I don't know breeds very well. You can turn into animals then, yeah?
Sometimes.
Thick as Gambit is tense as a board sitting there. Well, that's interesting. Sounded like y'all were putting something together. Am I in the way?
Yes.
Well, I appreciate the out front response.
Doug is gonna be like, no, like, you can, like, I'm standing here, you're standing there.
Gives Doug a smile. Well, in that case, I'll leave you to your scheming. As she sets a hand gently on Gambit's shoulder. I'd like to talk to you again soon. I'd like to ask you for that favor. About.
Okay,
Gambit's got a
like
girl
right now.
If you want, or you can wait.
When are you going to perform?
Well, I'm not much of a.
Oh no. I was talking to Grant. Sorry.
Garon and John, I believe, are
They-
currently performing.
Already performing.
Oh, they are performing.
Yeah,
Okay.
you three at the table right
I don't
now.
think you have a girlfriend now since she put her hand on you. That's all I'm saying. No
Even
context.
though the Gambit looks visibly upset.
And John can't really tell from on stage. He's preoccupied.
That's true. That's true.
He's too busy rolling a total of 20.
I will get to you after the performance.
Right? I'll be around here for the night. Step away. Leaving you back to your private table.
Gambit's sighs very heavily.
Doug, roll an insight check, because you're the one person at the table that doesn't really know what's going on.
That is true.
A total of a natural 20. You can tell that Gambit was visually clearly made uncomfortable when she came over, and was slightly on edge, and seems to be more relaxed now that she stepped away. Is there anything else that Gambit would that Doug would notice that Gambit is feeling, or just those notes?
I mean, Doug, I guess, did notice that he did jump. Not sure why though, but he, I guess, did notice the change in behavior.
And Dresden Gambit, is there anything else? Because I don't want to presume.
He's just shaking his leg and kind of looking over his shoulder, and
Also feeling-
maybe and then as she's doing things, watching her to see ooh, is she gonna say, is she what is she talking about? What is she telling people?
Poor Gambit. Gambit's gonna have PTSD from anybody that knows him.
But yeah, I guess Doug is just watching Gambit watch her, and then it's just kind of going back between the two for a second, and then just Gambit, you seem to be mighty fixated on the owner of this place for some reason.
I mean, I do. Wow. I don't.
I mean,
I don't know why you would say that.
like I'm not the best at, you know, picking up on certain like social cues, but it's obvious when you've stared more at her than you've stared at like
He just cut
your own
out
eye
for everybody
patch.
else.
No.
No. Stared more at her than you've stared at anyone else.
No, I said your own eye
No,
patch.
Oh, then your own eye patch? Nice.
I mean, it's not like she, knows anything about me and could, inform the authorities about something if I don't do everything that she says.
So then why are you concerned
So
if she doesn't know you? Like why would you think she does?
I mean,
She's the scary umbrella lady.
she's kind of a scary umbrella lady, yeah. She's just really intimidating,
And Doug is just gonna kind of at this point be a little frustrated because that's the second time that he has been around this person, and yet no one has told him that they've seen this person. And so he's just gonna be like, am I just missing something? Like everyone in the party seems to see this person, yet doesn't say anything until it's like way past time.
What do you mean? What person?
Like apparently Maverick saw her like the first night when none of us saw her, and then I didn't know until after the fact when I could have been watching her, and then now you two say that you've seen her and I haven't seen her. So like
The umbrella lady?
Yeah, so I'm pretty stealthy, but it seems
The umbrella lady is Lady Grace Savania. That she was the
Lavania.
one who Lavania, sorry.
You're good.
She was the one who wanted to meet up that night. Did you not see her?
no. Also, like,
Oh.
what is she currently wearing?
She's currently wearing a frilly, large pink dress. And she is steadily making her way around the room, seemingly checking in on every guest, making conversation, smiling happily, being a host.
Doug, you remember the second night we went where I was a spider on Gambit's hat? And we did the sort of stakeout thing again?
Yes.
Did you see Gambit walk away with anyone?
Oh, I guess he did, but he wasn't told who that was.
That was the scary umbrella lady.
So is that why you were telling her she barged in on a conversation?
Yes.
I guess, yeah, and I guess Thicket heard the whole conversation between.
Yes.
So Thicket knows. Gambit's just like shut down, and he's not putting that together.
Gambit's in survival mode.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Thicket heard what she whispered, though.
There's like one thing that Gambit did, or sorry, that Thicket didn't hear.
And that's about the favor, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Well, the thing
that makes sense.
The thing that Thicket specifically didn't hear, because Thicket would have heard after you freaked out and asked what are you going to do with that information, and she said that she, oddly enough, has decided she believes you, and that she'd like your help with something. So Thicket would kind of know about that quote-unquote favor she's talking about. The thing that Thicket did not hear was when she leaned in and whispered, "Good night, Alioth." which is, his actual name.
So, generally, Thicket knows basically everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Functionally, yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so Thicket's gonna take a blank page from his journal and give Gambit some sort of drawing utensil. I'm sure Thicket has something. That's unspecified.
Sure.
And be like, draw what pattern I should have as a horse.
Okay.
It's like back to the chill conversation. We're deciding what horse I
Gambit-
should be.
Gambit is
Don't
not an
panic.
artist.
Draw horses.
What type of so other than a piece of paper, what like is it a pencil or like an ink pen or
I probably some rock that scratches on paper well.
It'd
Like,
probably be a
rubs
charcoal
off.
pen, I would guess.
Isn't
Personally.
that just a pencil?
oh a what?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
A charcoal pencil
Okay.
effect.
Or like
Even a graphite pencil is technically a rock.
It's true.
Yeah.
like a lump of
Okay.
coal or some sort of rustic pencil.
I don't imagine you have
Okay.
an inkwell and feather right there, so we'll go with charcoal pen. Charcoal
Okay.
pencil. Alright, is that what continues is deciding horse?
Obviously, Gambit is well adept at oil painting. He can oil paint a horse.
Well, that's a fair
We have
point.
all of the materials for that, surely.
Well, let's see, Gambit. What is the most artsy skill? I guess a dexterity-based performance check is in order.
Okay. Oh, my computer died.
Right,
Let's see
it
if it
did do
has
that.
enough charge. It
I'll
has some charge, but it'll take me a minute to reboot it.
I'll
So,
go ahead and roll it for you. You got an 11,
thank you.
which means it's about
Okay.
what an average just above what an average person could draw. Take that
Of
as
a
you will.
horse, which is like the notoriously difficult thing to draw.
Uh-huh.
Hence, we have Jacob's horse.
It's not great.
It doesn't necessarily need to look exactly like a horse. It just needs to have a pattern.
Is it like the blue roan picture that you'd sent?
Hang on. Give me a couple minutes.
Sure.
I'm just imagining Thicket trying to like copycat the drawn horse, and when
and turn it
like-
into like a cartoon character.
yeah, like wild
Just a
shape,
very
like this,
lumpy, misshapen horse.
this
That's
2D.
somehow 2D horse. Okie doke. For your performance, by the way, guys, y'all get 10 gold, 26 silver, and 31 copper.
Alright.
For the course of the night, as y'all would finish up. Sound like y'all wanted to end around 9:30, 10. Is that right?
Yeah. Does she still give the 5 gold or whatever for every night I perform?
Yes, so add an additional 5 gold on top of that.
Okay. So I will give him let me see. Give me a second. I'm giving him a chunk of this.
Oakley dokley. And then I suppose after they finish, we're then going to have y'all perform again for the benefit of the audience.
All right. So I will make sure that John gets 4 gold. You're already in there. 4 GP. 21 SP and 18 CP.
Okay, and are you able to add that to your sheet, John?
Yes.
You said you believe so?
Yep.
All right. When you do that, the table group, I believe, is continuing to table. And then John, Garand, have at it.
So you guys are just gonna abandon me after I paid you all that money for protection. You're just gonna abandon me and make me ship all my goods by myself through these supposedly bandit-infested lands.
Look, there's no bad feelings. I mean, you've we're not keeping them. We're not keeping the money. You did pay, but we're not keeping the money. And you've earned money playing with me, doing such a good job performing. I really don't want to end on a sour note, but we can't. We have other obligations. So it has been a pleasure serving with you alongside you, but we can't go further. We cannot make it to Calcite. And honestly, if there are bandits, I don't know it's the wisest thing to go through the forest, but I mean, that is your choice.
I mean, I'm in such a hurry, and I cannot go as fast without the confidence of protection. This isn't how I wanted this to go. I guess I'll just have to leave as soon as I can, because you guys haven't left me much of a choice.
Again, it truly is not the hope. That was not the plan. So,
well, thanks for nothing.
I wish you well, sir, and it has been a pleasure performing with you, and hopefully things will work out better for you in the future. Maybe, who knows? Maybe some other do-gooder might assist you.
I'm gonna storm off to my room.
In order to better sell it, I think Garan and everyone else will just stay in the one room since he had 2 rooms before. So I think it may have been just Doug with him, but now Doug can stay with us.
Yeah.
Well, it was 3 rooms technically.
I was gonna say I thought we had 3 rooms, 2 people.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. Then that works.
Yeah. So basically, Doug is going to move over with Gambit, and John gets his own room.
Yay! Nothing against Doug.
I was just imagining Doug just like going in and not understanding the fact of waking someone up.
Okay, and then I would like both of you. Question is persuasion or performance? I think persuasion is more accurate.
Persuasion,
It crashed on me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, persuasion and performance are
I'll
the
be right
same
back.
for me, so. 18.
It's coming back.
I would also like to I guess. Is it okay, Jocelyn, if I present the horse?
Yes. Yes,
All
you
right,
can present
String.
the horse.
This is Thicket 2.0.
The new and improved thicket.
The new and improved Thicket. Can I like...
That's the horse Thakut.
I don't even think I can like shift it on its side or anything.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I did it weird. I'm
It
sorry.
gets
I
to be
just
vertical.
opened
It's
up
okay. No,
my.
it's great.
It's the new 2024 model, exactly
the
1 horsepower.
Exactly 1 horsepower. Correct. It's the new and improved Thicketdale horse. Okay, so John got an 18 on persuasion. And Garon, what's your persuasion roll? Give us up a swap.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. That's that 20. I get my point back.
You do. It also looks like it got wedged between the 20 and the 8 for me, but I guess that makes it a 28, so... Despite the discomfort with a few of those phrases, y'all managed to work it up to a quality that seemed quite persuasive as you had most of the inn looking at you.
I feel like it was a bad idea to do it in the place where we're staying, and we'll continue to stay for the next half a week.
No. What is gonna surprise Garon, and Garon's definitely gonna talk to John about is like, why did it have to go to Bad Town? Just be disappointed, not angry. Like you said, like now we can't be trusted is what it's gonna sound like. Garon's gonna be like, what was that? You oversold something.
Well, you can have that conversation in a second because Grace will walk over. I understand that you're staying here, but please keep all personal conversations, as she looks to both of you, out from the view of the customers. I'd rather not have your story, reputation spoiled before. She gives a slight glare to Garon.
Garon's like flushed with like embarrassment and confusion, and like depending on how good her ability to read someone is, he is like completely bewildered by the way in which John chose to do this performance.
Anyway, appreciate your playing for the night. Here's your gold. She will hand it over. We're going back.
Look forward to performing again, and hopefully we can rectify this whole sordid affair.
The performance was still good, and if the aftermath was
less so.
And she will go back to speaking to the patrons, seemingly doing a little bit to not quite calm them down because no one was surprised. Some actually you do see a few like interested parties who seem to be paying attention to the drama folding out before them. As you walk back to your group and or presumably upstairs. What's the plan?
You know what? I'll say so that everyone leaves back on the right note, allow me to buy everyone around. So whatever she wants to charge me for that, I will do that because
let's see. You do have a good amount of goodwill with them. I'm going to roll a D100, and there is a 20% chance that a few of them will take advantage of the opportunity and order more expensive things. Well, that chance occurred. So, in this case, you're going to owe 10 gold. As there are a few people that ask for more expensive drinks, expensive wines, and otherwise that they get glasses of. We'll say 10 gold as opposed to the 1 or 2 it would have cost you before.
What is gold worth, relatively speaking?
The D&D economy doesn't make sense, is the long and short of it.
I mean, 10 gold is a lot for some alcohol, but I mean,
yeah,
that's like people buying like some bottles of Dom. Like, oh, a round? I need 4 bottles of Dom.
I think it's
1 silver is supposed to be a day's wage, so effectively, that is 10. That is 100 days. That is like a third of a year of salary.
Yeah, so, the D&D economy doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's a high-end place. It's fine. It's whatever. But, okay.
No, I just mean, like, in general, because just a hempen rope is a gold. So it's,
10
days.
Rope is is actually historically rather expensive.
That's fair.
I don't know. Well,
Is it-
either way, when she
That's
comes to
fair.
ask me to settle up, I'll be like, just the next 2 nights that I pay, take it out of that. Don't give me that 5.
Okay. Just make sure you play the 2 nights, please. I'd rather not have to
Not to worry.
retrieve
Not to
the
worry.
gold.
Not to worry. I'll whisper like, look, the whole thing is we're trying to stage a trap to catch the bandits in the woods.
Ooh,
So,
I have my attention.
well, once we catch the bandits, then we come back and we tell the great story, and that's the next song for that night. Hopefully tomorrow night or Wednesday night. So,
Okay. Save the final verse of the song for Friday. That way there's some intrigue before the conclusion that people have to come.
no, all right, I can do. Tell you what,
I'm a
if you like
businesswoman,
how I spin it, then you maybe give me that 10 gold back after all.
We'll see.
Can I roll persuasion or anything to like maybe she thinks I'm funny or anything?
Make a persuasion check.
Well, I'm gonna use another hero point just because, like,
Okay.
I mean, I just got the other one back,
That's
so why
fair.
not, right?
You do tend to pick them back up pretty fast. You like to make a lot of rolls.
Oh, mama. Oh wait, and a D4. So, hey, that's good. But yeah,
It gives an eyebrow, but a little bit of a slight smile. We'll see.
14. You know what I'm really hoping for though? I really hope like I continue to hit these 30s, and then like that last night somehow I dropped
just-
like the 8 and the 4, and I hit like over 40.
That would be good. I thought you were gonna say that you rolled like a 12 the last night.
Oh no! That'd be awful. No, I want the Friday night. I want the Friday night to be the best, but I want like every other night before then to be really good. And so like they'd be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be fantastic, and then I just blow them away, and people start giving me platinum.
I'll be honest, most of the people coming to these don't have platinum, but more gold is always good. Okay. She would and in with saying that, we'll see. I see y'all are heading back up to your rooms. Remind Gambit I'd like to talk.
Gambit. Hello?
As she will head back to the crowd. As people are dispersing out now that you've finished. She is actually going to start helping put things up for the evening. Gathering dishes and such. Why does
Gambit's
OBS
gonna
keep
hang.
cutting out? I mean, I've got the recording, so that's not an issue, I don't think. But twice now, OBS has cut out.
Okay.
Wild. Sorry, continue.
Hello. Gambit's gonna hang back.
While the others go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You do so as the tavern effectively empties, or the inn effectively empties. Gerald seems to be doing dishes behind the bar at this point, as there is both a front and a back dishware place, one back in the kitchen for the primary dishes, and then one for various drinks and things up by the bar. So he is still in the room, but after a couple of minutes, it's just you and Grace as she goes and moves over toward what dwindles of the fire and sits down.
Gambit will follow her, but he's not gonna sit down. He's like at ready.
And is he just going to stand next to her, go up behind her chair? Something else?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Which one?
No, he'll want to face her, so like he'll stand a few feet away from her.
Between her and the fire?
Mm-hmm.
He looks up as you do so from as you see, she's pulled out the journal. She seems to be writing in last couple of times you've seen her. She closes it in her lap and looks up.
So, what's this favor you want?
Well, quietly. There shouldn't be anyone listening. How good are you at, breaking and entering?
Pretty good, I think.
And thievery?
Top of my class.
Here, I thought you weren't a criminal. He gives a smile.
I'm not a criminal in the sense that I set out to be one. I have become one through necessity and influence of others.
Well, we can handle that later. Get you back on the straight and narrow. Not that it's something that I am particularly keen to. Come. As she will pat the nearby chair, bring up her book, and set it on the table, opening to a set of pages.
He'll sit down, but like on the edge.
She will pull out the book and show it to you, and you see it is the floor plan of a house.
Okay, whose house is this?
There is a drow, and he is a merchant in town. He moves back and forth between here and Vacuo for the most part. He runs a shop out toward the center of town. He is fairly wealthy. However, one evening I managed to successfully spot him speaking to who I believe to be, understand to be, one of the bandits that cause difficulties in the area. I believe he's in part supplying them whatever they can't find. I don't know what his full deal is, but I've long suspected him. And most people, even on the slightly wealthier side, don't tend to have 2 guards posted outside their house at all times. Unless they're hiding something. Normally, I wouldn't worry, except that have reason to be suspicious.
Mm-hmm. And you want me to steal from him?
I believe that up in the 2nd floor, likely in either his master bedroom or his study, or whatever's on the 3rd floor, I would assume or believe that he has some record of his wrongdoing, or perhaps correspondence. That's what I'm looking to get. Looking to get information, to clarify. I would prefer to be certain of wrongdoing, or taking any drastic action. And so I was hoping you could help me retrieve this information.
And I would need your assurance and a promise that you will leave me out of any records when people ask how you got the information.
Don't worry, I am rather good at that. It's highly likely no one will even know that I was there. As I do intend to be. So,
yeah.
Take a look. How do you think we should get in? There are 2 guards that tend toward the front, the first floor. They move around periodically. It's not an entirely consistent time, but it's, from what I've seen, tends to be every 10 or 15 minutes. They cycle through, usually one of them going in the house, the other taking the area around it. I've been in there a few times before for various meetings, parties. The front steps is a simple foyer. The interior, let me grab the...
What about the inside? How is the inside guarded?
Wherefore art thou? Imagery. Pull up a separate image that has full details and isn't just a drawing. Do 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 do. Of course, I would forget to have that downloaded. The inside is fairly furnished, rather elegantly. Have any particular questions?
Oh, how is there roof access?
Well, as she would shift your attention down toward the third floor unknown room. The third floor acts as a... or rather, second floor, technically. No, it's third. The thing I was looking at has listed as ground first and second. Or I consider them first is ground. The third floor, I've never been in. From what I can tell, it has a fireplace that doesn't seem to connect to the other fireplaces within the building. You can tell from the outside as she would gesture up to the these, effectively. Those symbols are windows. So potentially, assuming those windows can open and we can get up there, it's entirely possible that we could get in through the roof.
Hey, question. Is there a image that I, the player, am missing, or is there just an imaginary picture
There should be.
that you're referring
I will
to?
reshare it. There is an actual
Yeah.
picture that you should be able to see.
That would be helpful.
There we go.
Thank
You see it
you.
now?
I do see it now.
Yes, so the symbols up here, third floor, unknown, those are windows. These spots where there is a dot and separation on the side is doors. Obviously stairs. The black and gray parts here are railings. And then she can give you more details about the individual rooms. The ground floor has a foyer, a dining room, sitting room, and kitchen. The basement I find rather unimportant. It's a simple storage cellar. Upstairs there are guest rooms, a dual set of guest rooms, the master, and a study that I've never actually seen open. I believe it to be his study, I understand.
Okay. All right. I think the best way to get in is going to be from above. And there's no guard that you know of that walks around at night.
Well, yes. Every 10 to 15 minutes, one of the exterior guards walks around. Though
right.
There should be fewer people in general in the area, as I was planning to do this Friday night during the rather well-known performance. I was also having him as well as some of the other merchants around hosting a slight dinner so I can get away for a bit during the performance, as was my plan.
Only hosting a slight dinner?
Yeah. Large enough for people to enjoy. To distract Clifton until we get what we need.
Okie dokie. I'm going to elicit the help of at least one of my colleagues.
We'll need to keep it fairly light. I don't know how many people should be involved in this.
Don't worry, they are very competent and they actually already know what's going on. In fact, the whole time that we were having a conversation the other day, they were with me, and you didn't even notice.
The druid, I assume, transform?
Yes.
I'm only minorly hurt that you brought a friend to our date, but at the same time, given the context,
Yes. I don't trust you all the way, and in fact, even though you are being very friendly, and appear to be reasonable, you in this situation hold a lot of power over me. Um, I'm not sure if you realize that completely.
I do. Is there something I can do to reassure you?
No, I guess time will tell.
I suppose it will. Well, you think going through the roof would be the simplest way in? Do you have a plan to get up there?
Yep,
And what would that be?
I can fly.
Well, that'll do it. And you can do so when the guards are not looking, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what if the windows don't open?
You said there was a chimney?
There is one. Actually, there are two.
But the chimney goes... Yeah.
There's one that I believe goes
The
to this
chim-
third floor, and the other that goes down to the stick room.
Mm. It wouldn't go through, like, the master bedroom as well?
It does. Oh, and I'm sorry, the one that actually goes down to the third floor, or I'm sorry, that goes in from the top toward on the third floor side, does actually go through the other rooms as well. Almost every room in this house has a fireplace.
Yep, somebody gets cold easily.
Yes,
Yeah, old houses.
Yeah.
Well, I figure that will be the best way to get in if the windows don't open.
An interesting choice.
I've done it before.
As have I, but I prefer to avoid it when I... Okay.
And also, this is not the first time that I have stolen information from a corrupt politician's house.
We have something in common then.
I thought you weren't a criminal.
I never said that.
Well then.
She smiles.
mm.
I just simply asked if you were. Specifically if you were a murderer. Which... It doesn't seem
I'm not that.
Good.
A petty thief? Yeah. A murderer? No.
Oh. Sounds like we have a bit of a plan then.
Mm-hmm.
When Garon's performance starts at about 7 o'clock on Friday, you and I will slip out. And ideally return.
Oh, we're doing this together. I thought it was just going to be me.
Nope.
I thought you were going to be the hostess.
Oh, I only need to be there for part of the time. Gerald is very good at taking my place when he...
Okay.
Don't worry, I intend to come along. whether that's comforting or anxiety-inducing is up to you, I suppose. You really have to trust me
I
more.
guess so.
I'm not going to hurt you. You ought to trust me more.
Because that
Yeah,
makes you
no.
trustworthy.
Trust isn't one of the things that's allowed me to live this long.
Damn. Usually good to have at least a few people. But, getting late. You should head up to your friends, who I assume you will tell everything that we just talked about rather quickly.
She's so trusting.
Yeah, because I trust them and not you.
Well, I'll see if I can change that. Good night, Gambit.
Yeah. Good night. He's gonna run away.
As she's getting up, Gambit stands up and moves faster than she does to leave.
Plots within plots.
Gambit rushes upstairs.
He's gonna tell. Okay, so wait, who's all in his room now?
Everybody.
Oh,
Just not John.
everybody.
Was everyone but John
Everybody
waiting
except for
in that
John.
room? Because y'all do have two rooms,
Okay.
so I don't know if y'all would have separated or if
Okay.
you all joined together.
Perfect. Okay, he's
As
gonna
soon as
rush up.
Gambit walks
Okay.
in, Garon's gonna be like, "Can you believe what he did? How he did that? Can you believe him? I'm so furious."
Oh, I guess that's also a good point. Did y'all want to talk while when you went upstairs?
Hey, I
Or
had
no?
to sell it.
No, I'm not gonna talk to him. Like the whole point is like, yeah, like I'll talk to
that
him when
you're
we're like
separate.
maybe on the road or
Okay.
some other time. But I'm complaining to Gambit because Gambit's excited about what Gambit just went through, but Garon's also excited. So it's like,
And Garon doesn't know that Gambit is
right,
hyper
exactly.
stressed yet. As Gambit finds his way into his room, where the rest of them, except for John, are hanging out.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, listen. Take a couple of breaths. I got more information about bandits.
Oh, well, that's great news.
So, the Lady Grace and I are going to be doing a heist. Oh, by the way, Garand, to bring you up to speed, she knows who I am.
Oh.
Yes, and
Does anyone else here
I'm
know who
very
you are?
scared that she's going to tell the authorities. But anyway, maybe I will be less scared after we do a heist on this dude's house who might be supplying weapons to the bandits.
Okay.
So remember when we went to that dude's house and we stole a whole bunch of papers there and proved that he was a bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that all over again.
Oh. So she's extorting you, but for a
Basically.
good reason?
Yeah.
And you're going by yourself?
I was going to ask if Thicket would come with, but it turns out at first I thought I was doing the whole job by my lonesome and I was gonna have Thicket come. But now it's gonna be me and her. I think I still want Thicket to come.
Won't Thicket be with John?
When is this heist supposed to take place?
Friday during the party.
Oh, that's clever. At least there's a cover. I mean, points for creativity. So, I mean, that's something. She's planning ahead. It's likely then that she doesn't have the intention to turn you in. My only question is, she wasn't going to turn you in, and she wants to do something for good. Why not just ask you? Why all the extra?
Know.
That's I mean, that causes me to have pause. I'm sure you're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's got something up her sleeve or if she's just a dramatic person.
Perhaps both.
Perhaps.
Yes. Although I will miss you both at my performance, I'm planning something delightful. I would. I would think that Thicket being with you is the better idea.
Ultimately, though, it's going to be up to Thicket.
Oh, certainly, of course. Forgive me if I made it seem otherwise.
In fact, Thicket, like, you could just be, like, a spider or something and just hide the whole time. You don't have to do anything unless we get into a bind. It smells a little bit like a trap.
I
Like,
forgot I was muted.
maybe she's going to, betray me last minute.
Oh,
She
you think
gives them
wants to frame you?
fatale.
I definitely really like, especially when it's you, Gambit. I'm a little sad I'll be missing the party, but helping is better.
Yeah. Maybe there's a way. I would really hate for you to miss the party. We have some time. We can think about it.
So the objective is to get in and get out?
Yeah. I would take
Well,
you, Doug, but you might have to lose the armor.
I mean,
He doesn't wear armor.
Because you are good at getting in and getting out.
Doug doesn't wear armor.
I don't wear armor.
Maverick
Wait, Doug
and
doesn't have-
Cedar
okay.
are the noisy ones.
Oh, they
So,
were? Oh.
honestly, with
I don't know why I
Maverick
thought
stepping
Doug
out,
does.
the party has gotten significantly more stealthy.
Also, like, my stealth is one of the higher skills.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good on that.
Not to mention I can teleport.
Yeah. That is true. You would. See, I was thinking Thicket would be good because it's almost like he's there, but he's not there. But your skills are definitely probably even better suited to this job than mine. Let's see. Well, we'll give some time to think about it. Let's see how, since it is bandit related, let's see how the bandit hunting goes tomorrow.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe John will be your right-hand man.
I don't know. Maybe.
Will this be John's first official fight?
Yeah, if we get one, because to be fair, it may not happen.
We are good at that.
At planning things that don't happen. And
We will convince them they cannot be dragons.
I mean, we're also good at finding out that there's like a little bit of nuance to a situation and trying to get them to repent. All right. Well, if you want to, in fact, turn into a spider now, and go and talk to him, let him know the plan, and then we can crash in our respective rooms, and in the morning we can go forward. But I think the best idea is that you sneak out early, and then go. You know, you're waiting effectively. Perhaps hidden, perhaps whatever, but you will be his horse in wait, and he will come fetch you from the stables or whatever, and so you'll leave together after he makes his purchase, and when he is in the process of putting you to the cart, then I will have everyone in the portable hole. I will then offer to help him put his belongings in the cart, and then I will open it up so everyone else can breathe again. It should take no more than about 15 minutes or so. I think that should be enough time. And then I'll walk him out, right? And afterwards, I'll turn back, and then I will act as if I had forgotten something, and then go chase after him, and then jump into, once we're out of sight, so forth, jump into the cart portable hole, and then we will enjoy our ride to hopefully be waylaid. Does that sound sufficient?
Mm-hmm.
What am I telling him tonight?
So, all right. Effectively, he'll knock on your door, right? Say, "All right, well, I'm leaving. If you want to change your mind," and he's going to try to keep the ruse going, and that'll be your signal to kind of leave shortly thereafter and head down to the stable area to become his horse. He will then acquire you and go get you fitted for a harness to carry the purchased whatever wagon.
Yeah, you had said something before that though about relaying some message to him tonight.
Yeah, just telling him this plan so that he knows what to expect. Since the earlier issue got out of hand quickly.
Can you write it down so that I won't miss anything?
Sure. Give me some time.
I'm not so good at relaying messages.
That's fine. All right, so I'll write it in chat or whatever.
I'm glad Thicket
we can just say that Garan gives Thicket a note.
Yeah. I appreciate that Thicket has become self-aware of that fact, because it has come up several times that Thicket has struggled to give information, and I'm glad he's learning from it. Alright, is there anything anyone else would like to do over the evening? Or I'll take a long rest. And prepare for your...
changing his spells, regardless of whether or not we're using air bubble. He's gonna add air bubble to his...
That's a good decision, especially
anyway.
If, as Garan just said, it might take 15 minutes for him to get the cart set up. You may need it for them to not die.
How much air does the portable hole even have?
I thought you said an hour, so that would be 2 people for half hour, right?
I'm pretty sure it has 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So,
okay. I thought you said an hour, my bad.
5. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 for both the portable hole and the bag of holding.
A breathing creature within a closed portable hole can survive for up to 10 minutes.
Yep, 10 minutes of air.
Wonderful.
At which point you suffocate. Which will kill you in 3 to 10 rounds, depending on your strength score.
Why does it have to be closed when you're setting up the cart?
Because we don't want everyone to see what we're doing if we're trying to set a trap.
But, can't you still leave it open but just carry stuff with it?
It's pretty big when it's open.
No. Micah already said that it's either open or closed. And then if it's closed, you have to make a strength check to try to get out. So if I leave it open, that means I'm dragging this big, giant, obvious magical hole across the street.
I mean, yeah, you could close it up
6
and
by
get
6
to the
foot.
thing and then try to open it up there, but then you're also trying to carefully hide the hole in town, which might be harder than...
I see.
But we'll get to that next time. As y'all take the long rest, we'll go ahead and I will long rest the party. But Donk and spells can be changed. And it is 10:18. So I'm going to leave us on this. Gambit, as you are stressing in the night, replaying the last several days of events over in your head again and again, and wondering a little bit of just how long you can maintain your on the run effectively. How long you can maintain. You find some comfort in an odd location as we kind of pull out from the night. As at one point past when Doug has gone to sleep, Gambit finds himself sitting up, just holding the lamp in his hands, seemingly mesmerized by the light shining and reflecting against it from the starlight outside as the rain has finished passing. Gambit's eyes seem to be locked on the lamp for a little bit. I'm going to add something to your sheet.
Oh no!
It's going to be in the notes section about halfway down. You can read it silently. Let me know if you can't find it. It should become pretty obvious once you do.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. And as the party rests and Gambit enjoys his gift from Maverick, whether it was intentional on Maverick's part or not, Gambit's stress seems to melt away a little bit as he focuses on this object. And as the party prepares for their banditry and literally asking for trouble the next day, that is where we will properly end the session.
I posted in Remnant Lunar Archon.
Oh, you sent a thing?
Yep.
The message for John. Yes.
I'll make a copy for Thicket as well.
Gambit has a crime date.
Yay! He is not excited.
You know, maybe you'll bond. Maybe this will be the moment where you're like, we can break into places together.
Yeah. More like before then, it'll just have to be, okay, fine, I guess you won't report me to the police. And I won't be so scared around you. And then maybe later.
Maybe I can trust you. We'll talk about anything else later.
Doug is just imagining all the times he's been with Gambit, and Gambit's like, oh, I'm good at this. And then all of a sudden it's just fell.
Fair. I have awarded session XP. Y'all are at 10 or 1,080 apiece, bringing the current lead, being Thicket, with his extra XP from whatever it was, at 28,373, roughly 6,000 away from level 8. I may need to slow down the session XP so y'all don't level up too fast, but who knows? Not me.
Especially since we've already gone one level with basically no fights.
Yeah, basically no fights. Y'all are another level, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should slow you down a little bit. Don't want you to hit, if y'all... I don't know how fast the next 4 in-game days are going to be before Friday night when things happen. But
What do you mean? Things are gonna happen tomorrow.
It's true. Things are going to happen Tuesday. Things are also going to happen on Friday. In my opinion, Friday is going to be more eventful. But we'll get there. I don't know if you're going to play through every single day. Heck, it may be 6 sessions from now by the time we get to Friday, depending on how long the bandits take.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time, though.
Hopefully not.
I'll go ahead and end the recording here. Thanks for anyone coming and watching. We appreciate you. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, at Wednesday, right? Regular day?
Yes.
This is a Valentine's
This is
special.
a Valentine's special, being the day after Valentine's. Oddly enough, you know, around that time. You know, it's Valentine's. I didn't intend for the Grace Lavania stuff to happen during that. But, you know, here we are. Good night, recording. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.